Yes, once again, I'm gonna do another one of these videos. Yeah, don't know how much further I have to go. There are quite a lot. Crowbars for you. You know what? I'm not really looking forward to this one, to be honest. Like to watch this again. Yeah, I think this was another one where I was a bit pushed for time. Like I probably just did all of this right at the last minute. It's another one where nothing really makes sense. This is Jackie. That's the character that I'm drawing right now. Jackie is a Jack Russell Terrier. Um, and she was one of my favourite characters. I drew her quite a lot for the Beluga Weekly. And I always feel like um, she probably could have had her own series of comics. I don't think I did an awful lot with her in the new stuff, the comic books. Like I think there is definitely something there because I've come up with so many different ideas. This is just one of those ideas that when I think about it now, like she could be the main character in a comic book, and maybe I'll do that. I think because out of all the ideas that I've come up with for comic books, Jackie is kind of the most straightforward, and I think you know they always say write what you know, and um, I do fall into the trap sometimes of trying to write fantasy stuff, and I think just a comic about a dog would be a better thing for me to do because I know what it's like to have a dog, and yeah, I mean I'm not saying you shouldn't write fantasy, you know, just because you don't know an awful lot about it. Like you can find out. I mean, I think my problem is I don't have the willpower to like kind of do the research and uh, work out the best ways of doing that kind of project. So now I'm sort of working backwards because that picture of Jackie that I just uh, scribbled away there, that was for the final panel because I like how I always had this obsession with the order in which I draw these pictures because it does make a big difference. And somehow I figured that it would be worth doing like the punchline, the image that's meant to be like the big payoff. Get that out of the way first. Make sure that I'm happy with that, and then do panels 1, 2, and 3. So that's basically what I'm doing now. This is the second panel. So I'm really rushing this. I'm not putting a lot of effort into it at all. So now we have the close-up of the fleas that are living on Jackie's back. So things like this, you know, it's all been done in cartoons before, but yeah, I think I might shortlist this thing as like a spin-off because yeah, I came up with ideas for like who Jackie is friends with. Like she has a couple of other dog friends. One of her friends is a Labrador, and yeah, I named it because I know someone who has a guide dog, like someone who has a bit of trouble seeing things. He has a guide dog. He used to have one called Dudley. He no longer has this dog. They had to retire Dudley. So yeah, I don't even know if Dudley's still around. He might be no more. But yeah, that was really just like the character that I came up with there was very much based on his actual dog. Jackie isn't based on any dog that I know of. I just thought it'd be cute to name a Jack Russell Jackie. Somehow it was just the the name really that was like made me think yeah. So these fleas are coming up with a plan, a fiendish plan that involves a crowbar and stealing money. Um, this is one thing that I've never been good at is like um, coming up with a plan. Like if there are characters that have an evil plan, what is that plan? Yeah, because I'm the one who actually has to come up with it. And yeah, I didn't. Again, I don't think I had a lot of time. You know, as I'm saying, I don't have a lot of, because yeah, I most of the episodes of Beluga Weekly that have these videos, they tend to be the ones that didn't have a lot of time went into them. Um, I can't remember how much time I spent coming up with the idea, like writing stuff, because I don't really, I'm not much of a writer. Um, so I know that when I was recording myself doing these, obviously, so I did kind of rush things along a bit because I didn't want to end up with like um, a 2 hour long video or something. Um, there are most likely ways of time lapsing the whole thing, because this was actually recorded. Um, the recording was done in real time. I wasn't time lapsing the recording. Um, this is basically speeding it up in post. You know, so I look like I've almost finished it now. I think I still need to draw Eugene, and that's why there's still a little bit more to go. So yeah, that was one of the things I had to be. I was sort of wary of, because yeah, I didn't want them to be too long. So that meant that kind of took control over how much time I was spending on these projects. Um, so uh, I think I actually did a bit of redrawing because I wasn't very happy with the way I'd done this. I think there are two far away shots of the fleas, and I thought actually we only need one. We just need one to kind of be like the establishing shot, so we can get an idea of that. Um, and I think I ultimately went with two close-ups of them. I thought that would work better. So yeah, I think once, because the reason that I stopped making videos of these is I was no longer able to run Photoshop on the same computer that I was able to do screen recordings, because I used the latest version of QuickTime to record these. So when I wasn't using, I went for a time where I was only making these comics on my old computer, and I didn't really know how to do screen recordings on that old machine. Um, I gave up on these videos, so since then my Vimeo account just sort of dried up. I didn't put anything on there. I quite like the designs I'm putting there. This is when I actually, I made an effort to create like a surrounding, like some backgrounds and everything. A lot more backgrounds than these ones. I used to be okay at putting these details in. It's not too bad. So yeah, I think I'm going to redraw one of these at some point. Or I think I enlarged it. Yeah, I just made it bigger and then made it more like yeah. So I think, yeah, I did rush a lot of these, and afterwards I did start. I think I ended up spending more time on planning and trying to write a script, and that didn't really improve them. If anything, I think again, I'm not much of a writer, so I was trying to do things by the book, and as a result, I didn't really do it my way. I didn't think of it in terms of, is this something that I would read? Because that was the real challenge with new stuff when I was making that. Yeah, I'm always toying with the idea of doing more comics. The problem is now is a bit of an inconvenient time, because I'm not going to be able to use Illustrator or Photoshop for quite a while. That's why it's probably a good time for me to do more of these commentaries. there's a hypnotized Eugene there. Yeah, this is all I came up with for this one. So basically, fleas organizing some kind of bank heist, and somehow they're controlling Jackie in a way that fleas do. Apparently, it they control us somehow. I didn't go into. I thought it was funny just making that be a thing. Like, this is what's normal in this world. I think that's why I thought it was funny. Definitely not my best idea. So yeah, and when I say I'm gonna do more comic books, chances are I'm not. It's easy for me to say. So now I'm just colouring things in. You're never gonna see these characters again. The fleas never came back. It was just I wanted them to just have a random appearance and then be gone forever. I think that was always the idea. Mostly I think because I did some similar comics that went on for more than one episode, like the story continued, and I was never very good at that. Because I didn't really plan ahead. It's just like, I thought, oh, this could actually go somewhere. Maybe rather than just have it end in this one episode, I'll continue it some more. And there were problems with like continuity. I really find it hard if I've not been drawing a particular character for a very long time, to suddenly go, oh, I think I should do more of these. I then find that there are a lot of continuity errors because I don't do a lot of like model sheets and decide on what's canon and what isn't in terms of how they look. So yeah, it looks like I'm almost finished with this one. See, this time I'm using Photoshop to create the background textures and things. I decided not to use Comic Life to do that. Now I'm putting in the balloons, and there you go. Yeah, I think originally the first two panels were going to look very similar. They're going to be from a similar angle, and at the last minute I just thought, no, I'll make panel 2 look more like panel 3 because that just seems to make more sense somehow. I'm gonna find one that looks like sort of a brainwashed talk balloon. That was the best I could come up with. Okay, and a few more details. Oh, I put my signature in. That's my fake signature. I don't put my real signature in any of these. And there it is. It's all done. Yeah. Okay, so there we have it. Beluga Weekly, number 146. I hope you found that interesting. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and see you later.